A lot of people get really anxious about, what do you wear?
Well, let's just take the word job out of the interview process, because impressions are made the first time we meet someone, period. Whether it's for a job, whether it's for a pageant, whether it's for a show audition, whether it's for a first date. And if you're over 35, which is the new government has done a new survey stating that over 35 is the new middle age. It was just, yes,
really?
It was just in Ladies' Home Journal.
That's shocking.
Seriously, isn't that? It's sad.
That is sad.
But
That's
the truth is, if we're back in the dating pool after we've been out for a decade or two or three, that first interview, it's everything. And you never get a second chance to make that first impression.
So you want to put your best foot forward.
Best foot forward. So it depends. First of all, if we're talking job interview, you want to go with something that's more conservative, because you don't want your clothes to outshine you. You want to make sure you've paid attention to your manicure. And this is true for men as well. You want to make sure that those nails are neat and smooth. And for women, go with conservative. Too much skin is too much skin for a job interview. So no cleavage, no bare arms. Stay with things that are simple, simple jewelry. In fact, you know the turnaround test where you're standing in front of a full-length mirror?
I'm learning so much this morning. What is the turnaround test?
Well, you're standing straight forward in front of a full-length mirror. You turn around so your back is to the mirror, and when you turn back around, the first thing you see that you notice, maybe it's this bracelet, you take it off and you leave it home. Because that first thing is going to be too much for the person you're meeting. You don't want them to focus on the one bracelet you're wearing. You want them to focus on you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so interesting. I've never heard that before.
Oh, well, Joan Rivers says that in New York it's just the opposite. In New York, you turn around, you put one more thing on.
Yeah, you want everything to dangle and
I don't know, but
now, I've also heard shoes are important with interviewing. That a lot of bosses and managers look at your shoes.
Well, when you think about it, if for a gentleman especially, no tennis shoes, polish those shoes. For women, you know what's popular now with those super high heels?
Yes.
What happens if you and that prospective employer decide to take a little walk and you can't keep up with them because your heels are too high and your stomach? You want to make sure you can move and that you move gracefully. It makes same with your seating. You're sitting. When you're seated in an interview, are you sitting back? Are you comfortable? Are you sitting?
Sit up.
Yeah. Are you? And is your posture from the top of your head to your tailbone? Are you up straight?
So let's talk about a little bit about accessories, earrings, necklaces, bracelets. So less is more.
Less is more, especially on the job interview. When you're on a job interview, you want still earrings. You don't want any movement because movement is perceived as flirtatious. I'll do it on the other ear.
Now, for a first date, that might be okay, but job interview, maybe not so much.
That's right. So think dangly for dates and still for serious.
Interesting. Now, what about makeup for women?
Here's the way I like to think about it. Daylight makeup, and if you don't have access to daylight, make sure you check in your car mirror before you go in. But you do want to wear makeup, you just want it to look natural. And of course, on dates, you can bump it up. And there's a whole different rule set for dates because you're looking to be flirtatious. But in a job interview, you don't want them to notice that you're wearing a certain color of eyeshadow. You want it to look, it takes a little while to look natural.